Andrew Neiman is a drummer who doesn't want to be good. Not even excellent. He wants to be the best. The kind of talent that appears once every century, even if it means breaking himself in the process. And then, in the metallic echo of rehearsal, he shows up, Terrence Fletcher. The man who will turn that dream into a battlefield. Andrew lives in a very small world. His dorm bed, his school, his drum kit. No friends, no distractions, no balance. He has one single goal, almost childish in how absolute it is: to become legendary. In his mind, jazz history is a pantheon reserved for a few. Buddy Rich, Charlie Parker, and he, Andrew Neiman, believes he can stand right there beside them. That blind faith sounds admirable. But the film makes it clear from the very first moment: obsession is into passion multiplied, it is love distorted. When Fletcher enters the room for the first time, Andrew looks at him as if a god just descended from the sky. And when Fletcher ignores him completely, Andrew feels like all his sacrifice is suddenly at risk. That emotional dependency is born right here. The audition with Fletcher is basically a microcosm of the entire movie. Andrew plays. Fletcher listens for a few seconds, then dismisses him without justification. That rejection doesn't crush Andrew, it ignites him. His father, a kind but conformist man, tries to comfort him, but only reinforces what Andrew already feels. In his own home, no one understands what he's trying to build. This scene establishes the emotional contrast: a father who offers love without ambition, and a teacher who offers ambition without love. Andrew leans, dangerously, toward the latter. Walking into Fletcher's studio isn't like entering a class. It's like stepping into a temple where the god is constantly furious. The silence is terrifying. The musicians don't even breathe too loudly. They sit straight, tense, ready to be targeted. Andrew is introduced to the band, and although Fletcher smiles, that smile isn't kind. It's the smile of someone already studying the cracks in your mind. Fletcher's demands have no middle ground. We either perfect or we garbage. Here the seed is planted for the destructive perfectionism that defines the entire film. The infamous "are you rushing or dragging?" scene isn't just humiliation, it's a demonstration of power. Fletcher has no intention of correcting the student. He wants to break them, emotionally, until they no longer know who they are without his approval. The method is cold, calculated. Raise the emotional volume until the victim collapses. Then lower it just enough for that same victim to believe they need to please you. Andrew watches everything, terrified, fascinated, trapped. This is the first step in his psychological dependence. Fletcher employs every emotional control tactic used by cults: constant public humiliation to destroy self-esteem, minimal rewards to create an addiction to recognition, impossible goals to ensure permanent obedience, internal competition to prevent camaraderie, and fear as the base motivational tool. Andrew fits perfectly into this mold. Each attack pushes him harder to prove he can be that special someone Fletcher claims to seek. That validation becomes a drug as powerful as the music itself. Andrew's relationship with Nicole reveals something essential. He doesn't know how to be a human being outside the drums. He can't talk without thinking of music, can't enjoy moments without feeling guilty for not practicing, can't love without measuring how much time it steals from his dream. The date shows a boy with a beautiful sensitivity, but completely unable to use it for anything other than his art. Nicole becomes an uncomfortable mirror. She shows him the normal life he can't afford, so he breaks up with her. Not for lack of affection, but for an excess of obsession. The lost sheet music is a disaster for the band, but a gift for Andrew. For the first time in the film, luck leans his way. He plays at the competition with a mix of fear, rage, and hunger. His performance is spectacular. And Fletcher, for the first time, looks at him as if he truly exists. That tiny moment of flat "good job" is enough to strengthen the chain between them. Andrew believes he's been chosen. Fletcher knows he has him hooked. The family dinner is a brutal portrait of Andrew's emotional isolation. His cousins celebrate mediocre sports trophies while minimizing his conservatory achievements like a weird hobby. Andrew snaps. He reveals his resentment, his desire to transcend, his pain. His father watches with concern, and ironically, that concern pushes Andrew further away. He doesn't want comfort. He wants admiration. He wants to be seen. And his family doesn't have the emotional vocabulary to do that. At this point, Andrew is no longer chasing greatness for himself. He's competing against ghosts, his father, his classmates, his past self, and most of all, Fletcher's voice telling him he's still not enough. This emptiness makes him the perfect carrier for someone else's obsession. Fletcher pits 3 drummers against each other for hours of rehearsal, yelling, crying, blood on the floor. Andrew enters an emotional trance where only 2 stimuli exist: the correct tempo and the fear of failing. The cost is huge. He breaks relationships, isolates himself, and loses his humanity. Each drum roll pulls him closer to Fletcher, and further from the rest of the world. This is the full transformation: destroyed hands, sweat-drenched clothes, a trembling body, a vacant stare. Andrew isn't playing to improve. He's playing to escape punishment. Fletcher, meanwhile, keeps pushing without remorse. He doesn't care about the boy's well-being. He cares about his experiment, proving that trauma breeds genius. The crash on the way to the competition is the film's most symbolic scene. Andrew emerges from the wreck like a medieval warrior who's lost an arm, bleeding, shaking, but still trying to play. That moment shows the true dimension of his obsession. He would rather die on stage than fail. When he collapses in front of the audience, when Fletcher kicks him out, when his father hugs him on the ground, that's the exact moment Andrew hits bottom. The lawsuit against Fletcher is a massive moral dilemma. Andrew doesn't want to do it. He sees it as a betrayal. But his father knows the boy needs to be saved from something far bigger than music. Fletcher is shaping his mind. This raises a powerful question. To what extent is a mentor responsible for the damage inflicted in the name of talent? When Andrew finds Fletcher playing in a bar, there's nostalgia, fear, and longing. Fletcher invites him to perform in a major festival. Andrew accepts immediately. Not out of trust but addiction. It's the emotional hook he could never escape. On stage, Fletcher sabotages him with the wrong sheet music. But Andrew doesn't quit. He can't. He doesn't know how. He grabs the sticks and starts playing, not by instruction, not by obedience, but by turning rage into music. It's the most visceral moment of the film. Andrew plays like he's offering his soul. It's brilliant, yes. But dangerously brilliant. The kind of light that appears only when someone is willing to burn themselves. The final scene leaves a brutal question. Did Andrew win? Or did Fletcher finally destroy him? It's not a clear triumph. It's a devastating doubt. Whiplash isn't a movie about music. It's a movie about the limits of ambition. About how the desire to be extraordinary can become an emotional prison. About how a mentor can be a savior and an executioner at the same time. The real question isn't whether Andrew achieves greatness. It's whether everything he lost along the way was worth it, because in real life, applause lasts for seconds, but scars last forever. If you enjoyed this reflection, hit like and subscribe to the channel for more analyses like this films that entertain you and make you think.